we're going afterwards. This place. I'm going to see it from the Yeah. Oh. Throw water.
Yep.
There's one right there, Coach. That reminds me.
Well, Brad, you're in a good mood.
Sure. Why not? Didn't count. I think a couple things that, first of all, this is a big kudos to the NCAA for allowing us, all of us at this level, to play these games. I'd like to really commend Eastern, Jay, all of their athletic department. This was short notice. This was incredible for the fans. Again, a thank you to the fans for coming out. I think this speaks volumes to what our country's about when we can come out and support something that goes to a terrific cause, and so that I'm very thankful. And we got the privilege to play a basketball game, and there's a lot of people around this place, Puerto Rico and the United States, and Houston, still struggling. So again, a big thank you there. I knew this would be tough. That's why I wanted to play Jay. Terrific coach. 70–75% of his team back. Got a point guard that's tremendous. Does his job. And then there's a sense of toughness that Jay's teams always had. His father, Jamal, played for his dad. So you know you're getting that. The most important thing for us tonight, putting on a jersey with bright lights on in front of people. A lot of guys have not done that, and those are guys that are going to play for us. So to experience that was very big, and I think the thing that I was probably there's a lot of things I was disappointed in because I thought we'd grown in some areas, but good thing is it doesn't count. We've got a lot of film to watch, a lot of improving to do, and we'll continue to do that before we throw it up a week from today.
What did EIU's defense do differently in the second half? Because it seemed like they caused 16 turnovers in the second half.
Nothing. I mean, Jed, they played hard. They guard. I think the one thing that was very evident today is something that we've been talking about at length, and that's our, and I don't mean to diminish what they did. Leadership. Where's it coming? Who's going to provide it? And you get a packed house, you get a noisy crowd, you get a little adversity, and we couldn't run anything. Not by choice. We just took it upon ourselves to go do it by ourselves, and that's an immature basketball team right now, and that doesn't win. It doesn't win in college. Biggest thing I'm probably the most upset with. I take a lot of pride in our teams playing hard. We got totally outplayed, out-hustled. We never got on the floor for a loose ball. We played pretty. We played like a finesse, pretty team. And that's not one thing that I'm about. That's on me. We'll get that correct. We're not going to win doing that. Halftime, we had one rebound from two guys that have played in the Big Ten a lot. One. So that'll tell you what our effort was about and our focus was about.
Brad, you talked about this week about teachable moments, which you probably want to win this game. Does this offer some good teaching moments for your team and maybe provide something that a win wouldn't in an exhibition game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was excited because we got to play in front of people in a uniform. We did that. We played against another high-level team and got that out of the way. Yeah, we played in one that was on the road in a great atmosphere, and you can't ask for that. That's hard to recreate. You don't, and it doesn't count in the other column when you lose it. Teachable moments are what I'm all about. We fought him in practice this week. We didn't have a great week of practice. Mark Smith was by far and away the best player we had in practice. That's probably because he played extremely poor in our last scrimmage. But I thought he was terrific today, other than his turnovers, and his work in practice showed off with his play today.
Brett, you mentioned some of your returners. You met a guy like Mark and Tijan. How do you coach leadership out of
moments like today? You find out through adversity. See, none of these freshmen have dealt with adversity. They've all been the best players on their team. They've all been told how great they are since goodness knows when. So now when they face adversity on the basketball court is when you truly find out who they are. And so tonight is a really good thing because we're finding out who they are. We're finding out who some of the veterans are. I've said it many times. You know, this team does not have a guy who's been the guy on a high major team.
And then Coach Boonhauer said you were the one that called him to get this hurricane relief game set up. When did you decide that Eastern was going to be the spot where you guys wanted to play and raise this money?
Well, it was close. It was easy. I know his teams. As I said the other day, I think the one thing that excites me is I love college basketball, and I love college basketball fans. And the Illinois fans are passionate. They're passionate in this state. Let's be very honest. I'm not coming back here to play a regular season game. Or am I going to a lot of other places? You know, that's just the way that the structure of the game is. So I thought it was just a great opportunity. We needed a road win. It's not the first exhibition game I've ever lost. And this was probably as beneficial sitting here today, right now at this moment, as anything I've been a part of, just simply because it was almost predictable with the week of practice we had.
You mentioned I want to talk about one of your freshmen, Trent Frazier, from the coast of Florida. What does it mean to him? Have you spoken to him about what this game means for hurricane relief? And what does he have a further level of appreciation that other players may not have coming from one of the areas where this disaster did strike?
Yeah, and I spent 3 years in Texas, spent a lot of time in Houston. I spent 3 years in Florida and lived through 3 of them. And it's an incredibly bad feeling going through a hurricane. And the days after are terrible. So, you know, Trent's family was fine and survived and came out of it with minor issues, but that's something that we've got a lot of friends down there, and you know, you think of all those people, a lot of friends in Houston as well, and Orlando Antigua and our staff has family in Puerto Rico that are still dealing with some of those things. So to be able to help, pretty special.
Right. It almost sounds like you kind of enjoy that you have ammunition in practice this week. Am I right along that?
You figured me out. I never forget that I'm a teacher, and these are moments when now you've got to regroup, and I get excited when I find guys at their lowest, and guys when they struggle. Because let's be real, it's not all balloons and celebrations. You have to find out who people really, really are. You've got to know who's in that locker room when it's hard. I'd rather do it now than in January or in December. And we didn't run offense. We played selfish. Okay, we can work on those things. We shot 34%. We can work on those things.
What will you do to get around on defense, the basket more? I saw you only had 1 block tonight. What will you do to correct that error in the game plan? If it was an error, if it was just lack of tenacity?
We're not going to be that team, to be honest. We're not a big shot blocking team. You know, that's not right now. That's not who we are. We're going to have to guard the rim with charges and with guys swarming to the ball. So that's a luxury we don't have this year.
Brad, yesterday you said you might play a 5 freshman rotation at some point, and today you started with 5 guys. At 16 minutes you played 5 different guys, and then the bench shortened up. Basically you had 8 significant players. What changed in your plan?
Well, I think the flow of the game, I wanted to treat it a little bit like a game, like a sequence in terms of my way of thinking. I was way more sensitive to fouls. I was way more, dialed in and really trying to figure out at the defensive end what worked, what combination worked. So I kept saying on the bench, I just need somebody that can guard one guy. And have a possession where we didn't break down. And so I felt good about the guys we played, and probably should have gotten the Teats in there a little more, as he's actually been pretty good in practice. But you'll see. The game will dictate a little bit of what we do.
How about AJ?
Big picture. I mean, you played 3 preseason games. What have you kind of learned about the team as far as the identity of this team and kind of the ability to compete, in the Big Ten?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody in the Big Ten. So what I read that Michigan State struggled the other night with somebody, and I think people make way too much about an exhibition game. I don't think that there's a lot of people at high major levels that get real concerned about what happens in an exhibition game. I think you look for tendencies. I think you look for identity. I think you look for character, and then obviously execution has to come at some point. And I'm disappointed in our effort tonight, and I'm really disappointed in our execution, especially coming off our last scrimmage, which we executed very well.
7 minutes for Aaron Jordan.
Maybe there'll be more next time.
What did Kipper Nichols, early on, seem to play really, really well for him?
Yeah, Kipper's problem's not at the offensive end. We've got to get Kipper making tough plays. And what I mean by tough plays, the guy's 6'6", 6'7", 225 pounds, uncontested at the rim, can't go up and double clutch. Kipper will make those. Got to get him dialed in defensively. He's got to take a tremendous amount of pride in guarding great players at his spot, whether it's 3, whether it's 4. There was some breakdowns there, but first half he was a one-man rebounding team for us. I think he had 7 at half, and so a lot of credit to him on that. And he was very good at in both of our scrimmages on the glass.
Is there a level of concern that the bulk of the turnovers came from guys that you probably considered your primary ball handlers?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How much?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the game's passing and catching, and some of those we can clean up. Got a 2-on-0 in the first half, and that's when the game. A lot of the momentum swung. We have a 2-on-0, and Mark Allstork fumbles it. Then the very next play down the court, Tijan works on a little dive play that we do. The ball goes right through his hands. I think our lack of leadership or lack of toughness happened on some of those. We ran everything that we ran against Vanderbilt, and in our other scrimmage. But give credit to Eastern and their fight.
Coach, you referenced a losing complex in our practice this year, and when EIU went on a big run, do you think that played a part of the team not being able to kind of settle down? And is that how concerned are you moving forward? Yeah, it's just an exhibition. How concerned are you moving forward that can still continue to be a problem?
Culture. I said the one thing I'm the most disappointed in, without question, is they out-hustled us. They out-fought us. They got every loose ball. You have to make winning plays if you're going to win. Winning plays are effort. That's all it is. Out-rebounding them by 2, that's not effort. Having 1 rebound from 2 guys that have played in the Big Ten, that's effort. That's on me. That's on me. We'll get that right, because that's not anything that I'm going to tolerate, and we'll get that right.
How do you instill that effort into your players?
Demand it every day in practice. I try to be the most consistent human being in the world when it comes to practice. Yeah.
Coach, when things started getting away from you in the second half a little bit, I saw Mark Smith get really vocal. Is that a role he's going to play on this team as a freshman?
He's a natural leader. He's a natural leader. You'll see him evolve in a lot of ways, not just physically on the court, but with his mental approach, his emotional approach. He's got tremendous pride, and he will evolve in that area. Sometimes when you're trying to figure it all out, leadership is something that it can be challenging, and he's got older classmates. Guys 21, 22 years old. He's 18, so he'll grow into that.
Coach, it was a
last question here, so we can get our players done.
Quiet night for Mark Allsford. Guy you expect a lot out of this year. Just what did you see with him tonight?
It's a game of basketball. Some nights are tough, some nights are others. Mark's got a chance to be an elite defender, and has got off to a tough start. He's got a couple of clean looks. The ball didn't go down. Mark's a veteran. Mark's been around it. He's seen tough nights. Again, give a lot of credit to Eastern, and then I think he pressed a little late, and that was par for the course for the night.
Okay,
thank you.
Moran and Kipper at our bench if you need them.